Welcome back to Simple Privacy Tips, where we give you regular, simple tips to help you feel in control of your and your loved one's digital privacy. Today, I'm going to give you 6 ways to keep your information more private from Amazon. Amazon is obviously super convenient. I'm recording this video the day before Cyber Monday and, just a few days after Black Friday. And I get it. It's super convenient, good deals. But the company collects an extraordinary amount of information about people that use the website, and they have faced legal challenges stemming from that data collection for years. It's actually pretty crazy how much they have. So I wanted to give you a few simple tips to help you feel a bit more in control. I have also created a free printable step-by-step guide with everything I'm going through in this video that you can download and refer back to, or you can even share it with loved ones that maybe prefer to read through directions. So that will be linked in the description. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing to do is to sign into your Amazon account and make sure that your wish lists are private. Here I am at the landing page of Amazon. I'm gonna go to the little person in the bottom of the screen. I'm gonna click on your wish list. And here you can see your wish lists. Click on each one and then the 3 horizontal dots next to view lists and manage list. And make sure that under privacy, it's private. Save your changes, go back and do that to every wish list you have. This helps keep the things that you want to buy private from, people on the web and maybe even other companies that are searching to understand what you want to purchase. Okay, the next tip is for Alexa. So go to your Alexa app. Now, I don't have an Alexa, and so what I'm going to show you here, my app doesn't have the setting, but I'm going to show you where to find it on your app so you can turn it off. So the first thing is to turn off Amazon Sidewalk. Amazon Sidewalk is a sort of Wi-Fi network sort of sharing that Amazon has built. By default, people who use it have very little control over what information kind of flows over the network. So it's just good practice to just turn it off. So how you get there is via the Alexa app. Go to More in the bottom right-hand corner, then Settings, then Account Settings, and then here you will see Amazon Sidewalk. Click on that and turn it to disabled, and then click back, and that should save. The next tip is with Alexa again. So in the Alexa app from the home page, we're going to stop Alexa voice recordings, and you also have the option to clear out ones that have been saved, because my understanding is by default all your voice recordings are saved until you delete them. So you can imagine that's quite a lot of recordings if you use your Alexa for day-to-day questions. So to do that, from the homepage, go to Settings again. So we're going to More in the bottom right-hand corner, and then Settings. And then you'll see Alexa Privacy. Click on that. From this page, you can review your voice history. What we're looking for is manage your Alexa data. Click on that. And here, if you scroll down a little bit, you can see choose how long to save recordings. See, by default, at least for me, it says save recordings until I delete them. A lot of people, I would imagine, might not even think to delete their recordings. And so it's kind of it seems to me a bit sneaky that they would have that setting by default. Best practice would be to have them auto delete after a certain amount of short time. But click on that, and then here you can choose. You could go for 18 months, 3 months, or you could just say don't save. I'm going to confirm. Now they will say that it might degrade your experience. If you notice it degrades your experience, you can always go back in and change the settings. So why not give this a try? And then if you notice a real change to your experience, you can always go in and bump it up to save it for 30 days or whatever. So confirm. You can also do the same for smart home device history. You can delete all your history by clicking one-off deletion of all your history. Now, if you scroll down a bit more, you can see Help Us Improve Alexa. And basically what this means is that you're letting the company use voice recordings to train its AI systems. This is something companies try to put in to ride off your data and improve their own systems. I always try to find them and just turn them off because you never really know the extent to which how they're using it or how long they're using it for. So I'm just going to turn it off. You can just scroll through this page and decide what you're comfortable with. One other thing I wanted to mention is you can say enable deletion by voice. What this means is that you can just say to the device that you want everything to be deleted as opposed to going back into these settings and finding it again. So for ease, you might consider toggling that on, and then you can just say to your device, like, delete everything I said today or something. Now, there are a few settings that I want to tell you about, but you need to do it via the browser. So go to your browser and sign into your Amazon account that way. And I'll tell you these 3 settings to change, but they're at sort of obscure links. So what I'm going to do is provide the links in the description below. So you can go to those links and then you should be taken directly to the page, as opposed to me telling you exactly how to navigate. So the first one is in sort of optional one, but you can turn off interest-based ads provided by Amazon. So what this means is that the company is sort of always inferring what you're interested in based on data that, I don't know for sure, but I would guess like other companies based on data that you provide. So what you search for example, but then also what it infers. So maybe using your location or time of day that you search for things or the patterns of things that you're searching for, etc. So you have the option to turn those off. So what that means is just to stop seeing them. And you can do this, but there's this lingering question of, even if I turn it off, is Amazon still like profiling who they think I am and just having that data internally, but just not using it to show me ads? And so if you find interest-based ads useful, or if you don't really know what they are, like you don't know when you're interacting with the interest-based ads on the platform, you can go ahead and turn it off. It might have an effect on how Amazon profiles you. It might not. I'm not quite sure, but you can go ahead and toggle do not show me interest-based ads provided by Amazon and submit. The next setting, again, which I'll provide the link to, is around cookie preferences. So this I would definitely recommend doing. Follow the link that is in the description and scroll down. You can see you have the option to turn off advertising cookies. So cookies are things that are put onto your browser to kind of understand what you're doing online. And it helps advertisers to understand what you're interested in, measure if their advertising is effective, i.e. you're buying things that they're advertising to you. I always just turn these off because they don't benefit me. Allowing cookies to be put on your browser allows companies to access what you're doing on the platform. So it's better to turn them off. So I would toggle advertising cookies to off. You'll also see this customize advertising cookies. Click the down arrow and then I would turn off Amazon advertising and approved advertising third parties. And the final tip that I have is about customizing third-party advertising cookies. So this is third-party companies, so not Amazon, but other companies that can put cookies in your browser. And again, I tend to just turn these right off. So you can see, it's actually a bit interesting. You can see all the third parties that, if you have them enabled, would be able to understand kind of what you're doing online. So I've gone through one by one and turned them all off. You can see there's quite a few for me. That might be different for you, depending on where you live. I live in the European Union, so there are strong data privacy laws here, but maybe you'll have lots more if you live somewhere without data privacy laws. And then you can see there's even more. So I've toggled them all off and then clicked save and go back to preferences. Okay, so those are my 6 tips for you. Amazon is a really powerful company, and I think you can tell that I try to avoid it, and I try to recommend just avoiding it in general. They've built sort of an empire off of our information and have used it to really drive out small businesses. I've put a bunch of links in the description for further reading if you're interested. I found that mom and pop shops tend to have, far better customer service, and in some cases, lower prices. One thing that Amazon has been alleged of doing is having really low prices and then getting a bunch of customers to come to the platform to have access to those low prices. But then once it drives out competitors, raising the prices back up. And so I've noticed in my own searching that I can find product for cheaper off the platform sometimes. But if you can't escape using the platform for one reason or another, just make sure to follow these simple steps to help to reduce the amount of information they can access about you and your loved ones. I wanted to tell you that I've started a Simple Privacy Tips podcast, and I'm going to have an episode very soon where I talk about some of the harms that have come from Amazon. So I have found it really interesting to learn about how the company has used people's data to build this empire. And it's quite shocking, and I find it quite interesting. So I just wanted to have an episode on the podcast about that. So if you are interested in that, make sure to keep an eye out. The podcast is called Simple Privacy Tips Podcast. That is what I have for you today. So good luck with changing these settings, and I will talk to you again soon in the next video. Everyone wants to feel in control of their digital privacy, but our lives have become so digital that it's overwhelming to know where to begin. As the future becomes even more digital, don't let your digital privacy disappear. Make sure to subscribe to Simple Privacy Tips today.